Okay, welcome everybody to the Monday, November 18th Selectboard meeting in Conway. Call the meeting to order. Since we have some guests, I'm gonna skip all the way down to new business. We're gonna move to the discussion and possible vote on the maintenance of flags on town properties. So, Veronique, do you wanna kind of just give a background to this?
Sure, but does anybody do you all want to stay there or join at the table? It's up to you. Okay. Yeah, just so we do have a couple of flag poles on public property. And we've had absolutely wonderful volunteers who've been dealing with all the flags in town. But because of something that just happened recently where one of the flags was a little torn and people were making comments, so we just thought maybe it was a good time to talk about whether we should have some annual, changing of the flags or whatever the policy was that the select board wanted to set for how we maintain flags on town property.
Okay. Have we ever had anything?
Honestly, these gentlemen would know better than I because I'm new.
The ones on the town property, back in the day, were always maintained by the highway superintendent.
Okay.
And then we took over the street flags when Butch Rose left town. So, as far as the cemetery flags, I don't know who does that. But the ones on the
That's
common.
Don Grant.
That's Don Grant.
That's Don Grant who does those, yeah.
But we were delegated or volunteered into taking care of the street flags many years ago. Now I don't remember where it was. But
Oh, I meant to bring him.
I was always under the impression, or I was told at one
We
point that the one in the ball field and the one over here were done by the highway department.
Okay.
That's possibly changed or got sidelined at some point, I don't know. So,
That would make sense. Maintenance.
That's.
The other issue is when you fly the flag at night, you're supposed to light it.
Yes.
I
Right.
brought that up, actually.
So,
Otherwise, it goes up and down every day.
not speaking as an electrical contractor in town, speaking as a veteran, and just what it's supposed to be is, you're supposed to light it.
Mm-hmm.
So, to save not putting them up and taking them down every day, because it's time for that. And that is an issue I've heard before from some people, finding ways to do that. And I believe the two town property flags retired was the one at the ball field and the one here at the
Right.
memorial.
Yeah, the issue with that is it's,
The solar spotlights? Yeah.
well, I mean, we're also trying to get onto be a
Oh, dark skies.
dark sky community.
Well,
So,
if you take a look down in Whately, they have a solar flag that was installed. That seems to work very well.
does
And
it
I
go
don't,
up or down?
it's on the pole, so it illuminates the flag.
Oh, that's
the ones
perfect.
I've seen are 360 on the pole, they shine down onto the
Yep.
flag. They're
Oh,
at the
that's
very top of the
Yes.
pole.
So as the
Shine
flag,
down.
as the flag turns, it stays lit.
Oh, that's
Where
great.
the
That's
wind's blowing the
awesome.
flag.
Oh.
The flag at the Conway pool, we put, it's done according to like the rules, of not rules, but not the bright, whatever you said, community rules, but that has 3 spotlights from the ground that go up to the flag. But that's, I bet that's probably in some sort of conflict with I forgot what you just said. It was.
Dark sky, but
Dark sky.
you can still light it up as long as it faces down and it's a certain lumens.
Yeah, so these go up by, so that's probably not the best solution, but yeah, the solar ones at the top. My opinion on the solar things, we've had some problems with them. Solar isn't always great. Finding something reliable that's solar that's gonna last is challenging. And also, is it always lit, because does it always charge all day? Does it always charge full
Especially this
all
time
day?
of year.
Right.
So, then you have the battery technology that's outside, and then in the wintertime, that's another. We run into problems now. We have we're doing this, trying to do the solar sign outside of the elementary school. We're having issues with it. We just replaced solar lights for customer over on Graves Road, so they just don't like them. They just don't always get bright enough and don't always charge all day. So solar has its downfalls also. But it is a nice solution for the down part, because electrically that's very challenging to get it light from. So you could try that.
Is there one that's both solar and battery? So it'd be like if it's hasn't been able.
Well, they are solar and battery, and then the onboard batteries charge all day, and then solar, and then the photocell trips it on, and then it goes till it runs out of power. And that's,
It actually runs on battery.
It actually does run
Right,
down.
but
The
I
recharge
guess I
part.
meant a different kind of battery backup, but that's probably problematic to change out all the time.
There's a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, to the issue of lighting the flag. You could try it.
I think it's worth a try. I mean,
And then the maintenance of the pole itself, and if we're still able to loosen the pole and tip the pole, because they have a joint, the poles have a joint in them. If you tip them down for maintenance, keep that pole up there, and that has a joint. The older poles have a joint, so as long as you maintain that joint, and then you can lay the pole down, and then you do the maintenance on the pole down.
Oh, okay,
who
So
knew?
maybe installing them, laying them down, so you don't need a bucket truck service. If
right.
that pole lays down, then you can lay it down and do the service on it. And if you maintain that, it's okay, but a lot of flag poles, they loosen them and lay them down, do maintenance and put them back.
I wonder if we can kind of work in conjunction with RTE when they're out here for the streetlights. If they have a boom truck already, an electrician.
The towns, so the towns of Deerfield, Sunderland, and Whately share a bucket truck, because I use it, because I have the account for the maintenance of the streetlights in Deerfield. I also have the account, Frontier in the schools to maintain the parking lot lights.
Mhm.
And we use that bucket truck. I don't know if they would be willing to let us, borrow that for a day. We could talk to officials about that. That might be an option.
Is it tall enough?
It is tall enough. I do believe it's just tall enough. I'd have to check. I go up in it and it goes, I think it goes 25.
Okay.
But I don't know if even that's an option. I'm just throwing it out
Mhm.
there. And then there's also,
Do we know the flag poles don't bend?
we don't know that. I could check.
Okay.
The one in the ball field used to, but since they redid the ball field and they changed the flag, I don't know if
Some
they did
of
one
them
that
do
was like
pivot,
that
some
now.
of them, the older ones pivot. If
Okay.
you see the channels on the side, they pivot. But,
So we should probably also, I mean, I personally think leave it with the highway department because it is grounds. And that they should just have a schedule to, just like you would like a fire extinguisher or whatever, to make sure that they're in good shape.
I think the other issue is whose budget and where the money comes from to purchase what you need to do to maintain the flags. We've worked through that over the years with Veronique and everything. Now we have a line item, which helps us a lot.
Yeah.
So now we can, because we do the street flags, so keep the street flags, we're in pretty good shape with that now, aren't we, Brad? Money wise.
Right. Okay.
So for maintenance, to buy new flags, when they get tattered, to change them.
Well, and it's worth buying the solar things to at least try them, right?
Yeah, and I would love it, a recommendation maybe between you and Ron of what actual ones we should order.
Yeah, if you want to start an email chain with Ron in it, I'd jump in on that and see it.
Okay,
And
That'd be
pack
great.
to it.
So I was right about that. That they're supposed to be lit.
Yes, they are
Right.
supposed to
They're
be.
supposed to be lit.
And as a neighbor of the pool, the lights that you have shining up
Mhm.
are not disruptive to the area. They're
Okay.
pretty there, I mean.
Yeah.
They're not,
Yeah. They're designed to be right there.
yeah.
Is the flag up there all year or just during the pool season?
No, it's a third layer.
All year.
Then you put astrological timer, photo eye control on it, so it follows. The library has that now with multi controls, so it follows. You don't have to. It's not a bunch of work to keep programming clocks and doing all this. It's just they have timers that follow. They know where we are longitudinally and longitudinally and latitude. So if you electrically control, it,
Right.
if we're
The
able
electric's
to.
cut off to the pool, you know,
Yeah, they do cut it off. Yeah. So
so.
I think the flag must come down. I didn't check.
No, the flag stays up, but
Oh, it
there's
does?
no
Oh,
electricity
it's-
to any of the poles or.
That's what I was thinking.
Talking
Maybe you
about
just
that.
put
Maybe
it
it
up
should
during the
just
season and take it down.
Yeah.
That's not town property.
But that's not town property. That's private.
Yeah,
It's
it's
private
private
property.
property, so.
But an example of how they're lit, that is a nice example. It came out nice. That's
Right.
electrically.
if they're in the ground, do you have to worry about them being snow covered and that?
Now they were all rated for it. The product we put up there is all rated for. It's made for that. It's made. It's set up and made for exactly that. That's a. Yep, it's an option. Get that electricity obviously there. So, yeah, I would if you want to start an email chain with Ron and about the solar option. I would follow up on it.
That would be great, and then we can figure out, because we don't have that much, I'm sure, in the budget for this year, but we can put it in for next year, whatever amount that is needed for next year's budget.
Mhm.
In that line item.
I mean, this many years without it now, another six or 8 months, ain't gonna make much difference.
Yeah.
So,
So is it not an issue that the the street flags are up overnight? Is this just like relate to?
Well,
There
if
may
somebody
be-
doesn't take
There may
them,
be something in there about the flag on a mast, I don't know.
Okay, that's, yeah,
So
Yeah.
aside from the street flags are different,
Displayed differently, I
okay,
think.
that's what I was.
Yeah, I'm not
It's-
sure.
there may be something in the
It's-
flag etiquette about
It's
that.
along the same rule that a house flag is.
Okay,
Most people leave their flags up throughout the year and remove them probably in the winter time.
The other thing too with the two, town flags is when it's decided by the, governor that the flags fly half-mast, a lot of times ours are never changed. They're
No.
always flying full mast, no matter what.
right,
I don't know if that was the highway superintendent's job to make sure that they were dropped when they were required to be dropped, or I don't know where that's supposed to be.
I think that's
That's the problem.
why we're meeting,
Yeah.
is
We
to
have to
sort these things
delegate.
out.
There is something that Whately, South Deerfield, and Sunderland, they're on some type of a notification email.
I did sign up for that, yeah.
You did?
I did,
Okay.
so I'm hoping that, cause that's very different than having to do it every day up and down,
Yes.
so.
We're more than likely have to do it very soon. Jimmy Carter's
Oh, Jimmy,
100
yeah.
years old.
Right, yes.
So,
Well, actually, right now, the flags are at half-mast on a lot of the towns and cities right now
I noticed
for
that.
a town representative.
Okay.
They haven't determined the date of internment, so the governor has said, lower the flags and they'll stay down
Okay.
until she is buried.
Okay.
Oh,
I noticed that. I was gonna get noticed. Wow.
So your goal here tonight is to get like a policy for them to deal with them, or a way to deal with them.
at least it's so
To
people know
change.
whose responsibility it
Right,
is,
you see
yeah.
the flags changed out and
Right.
tattered and maybe lit.
Yeah, and then we can work on that email with you if you don't
Right.
mind.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, you're missing one other, town flag, and that's at the school.
They do
That's- But the school does it.
You're right, yeah.
They put it up
The
and
school
down
has
every
it.
day.
Right.
The kids do it.
in the summertime, is the flag just down?
I think
I
so.
think it's not up.
Yeah.
I think. It's just not up.
So, yeah, it's only during the school year.
Technically,
Yeah.
if there's not a gathering, I don't believe it has to be displayed.
So technically it's town property, but it's handled by the school, that's why I didn't bring it up.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a,
but any other, rules that we're supposed to be adhering to, I would love to know about so that we can be sure we do.
Right. Is there an item, a line item for these 2 or 3 flags that
Yes,
you do have?
yeah, we worked that out a couple of years
That
ago.
was for street flags, but
That's for
if
street
we have to get them out of that.
It's for both, actually. I
Is
put
it?
in some for
Oh.
street flags and some, yeah.
No, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't think we'll use the whole line every year, so that's great.
Right, and it'll help me if I know, like, I knew you guys were in pretty good shape for the street flag, so I didn't put as much in for this year because you said you were pretty much set, so,
Okay.
but that's definitely something that I wanna talk with you about to make sure I know how much to put in each year for that one.
Yeah, we gotta have about another season or so, we'll know.
I think
We know it now.
what we have will last at least one more season.
Okay.
Trying to get down this year.
To give you a rough idea, it depends how much they wear and tear and
Disappear.
blow around and disappear. It's, what is it, a set now, $40? Wow.
Flags now are 35, where they used to be 25.
Right,
And then if we do the poles and the brackets are 12 instead of 9 now, so.
okay, yeah, so it's getting up there, it's $70, $60, so, yeah. What do you know?
It's 32 or something like that.
so are we gonna work on a policy, like drafting this, or?
I think for this, we should just, state whose responsibility it is.
Okay, so is it gonna be the road crew to put, to,
I would say it should be with the highway department because they're grounds and maintenance.
so
That
they'll
only makes
lower them if
sense.
we need or whatever? Okay, and we'll work on getting lights on them.
Yeah, although
Should
I
I
think,
lower them tomorrow morning then? They should be at half right now, is that what you're saying, Roger?
Yes,
Cause I'll
That's correct,
I'll
yes.
lower them in the morning.
Yeah,
for doing that, for the lowering, I think our office can handle that, but
Okay.
for the maintenance, yeah, for being on the notification if they
Okay,
need to
yeah.
be half mast.
Okay,
That works out.
We can do that.
excellent.
Yeah, I'll work on the solar option. See if I can get something decent. There's a lot of junk out there. I'll try to find something decent.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
And then if it comes to installing it, I'll work with that too. We'll see what we can do.
And one other issue I'd like to bring up is the proper sizing of the flags on the flag poles. A 3x5 is for house mounted flag poles that are 25 feet or less, 4x6. 30-foot flag poles are 5x8, and 40-foot are 6x10.
I have no idea how tall our poles is, so that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we do have right now one 4x6 and one 3x5, so the 3x5, I guess, we can give to you guys, but
Yeah, I'm through on the street.
Ours are 3
I will state that I will
Yeah.
purchase a new flag that we need on my own. If it's not in the budget, I'll.
Well, the guy
purchase
gave
it.
it.
yeah, he gave us
He
two.
gave
Oh,
us,
okay.
So,
When
so
I
we
called
have,
last week too.
so those were the two that I picked up last week, and one's a 4x6, so at least, but that pole in the ball field may be taller.
I think that's a 25.
Oh,
I
it's
think it's
25.
25.
I
It
think
looks,
it's
yeah,
25, it's pretty tall.
And this one here probably
20.
needs,
Yeah, that's.
so that needs a 4x6 too, probably,
I don't
right?
know what this is.
Isn't
4x6.
I think that is a 4x6, isn't
I don't
No.
think so, I don't think so, no,
it? Okay.
I think it's a 3x5, it's
Oh,
it's
okay.
smaller.
Yeah, that's why, it just looks
Yeah.
like hell,
Yeah.
in plain English.
Makes the pole.
Is that,
maybe like-
is that the size it needs to be, or the minimum size?
That is the size that's required, 4x6 or 20.
That's on the minimum.
Can it be bigger?
That's what I'm saying.
It can be bigger,
Yeah.
but it's not recommended, then
Yeah,
it
the
Okay.
rigging
doesn't
can handle
look
it.
right.
Stick with
Your
that then.
ropes and all your costs for it
Yeah.
to look right, and then
That's-
the handling them in.
That's what, one of my gripes was when I saw the 3x5 on this pole out here. I said, it looks like.
Yep.
It doesn't look
Yep.
proper. It looks like half.
It's like a fedora of flags.
Yeah.
Just on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Definitely, let's
Okay,
get
so
it.
we'll get
Let's
another
get what we
4x6,
need.
so that's the right size, so we'll
Yeah.
get one more.
yeah. Where do you purchase your flags from?
Upper Pioneer Valley Veterans.
Okay,
We get ours from
Yeah.
Century and
just Century and Chicken.
Yeah.
Street flags.
That's where we get
Oh, okay.
the towns and counters.
Do we still display the POW flags, the black flags?
There's one there, see, this is part of why we're having, I have no idea who put it up.
Hank Horstman did.
I'm sorry?
Hank Horstman did.
Oh, did he? Okay.
It was tattered, he went and bought one and he
Yeah,
Okay.
put it up.
so this is part of the reason because there's been so much, people have been great about taking care of things, but we haven't known who's in charge of what.
I mean, it should definitely be on this ball, not the ball.
I'm not
field,
sure
but
the
this
ball
one, I'm
field,
sure.
ball field should just be there.
But just the
like-
flag, yeah.
Yeah.
We have the street flags, and that's our job. We take care of
Right.
it. So we do that every year.
Okay. So,
It
Awesome.
just came down. It's Sunday.
So I should swap this one out when I put it at half mast.
Yeah,
For
the
the
only-
bigger, for the bigger one.
The only thing is that
Well,
I guess you have to move the clips, because that was set up for the 3x5 on the ball field pole.
No, I'm talking about out here.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay, well, that, I don't. Yeah, okay, I know they're
Take the size
4x6.
out too.
You have to change the anchor positions.
Awesome.
All right, so did you,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, assign the highway department to maintain the flags on town properties.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Should we put in that the town administrator's office will pay attention to half-mast?
I'll make a motion that the town administrator's office is in charge of ensuring that the town flags are flown at half-mast when, necessary.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for taking care of that.
yes, thank you.
Is it right?
Yeah.
And whenever flags become unserviceable, I gladly accept them. The VFW either properly disposes of
Yeah, that's great to know, because I haven't known where in town, so, and especially I assume the transfer station, because that used to be one of my number one questions at the transfer station, what do I do with them?
them. Yeah, they usually set them aside for me.
Oh, great.
Great.
They
I
go out there
have,
anyway.
I have bags of them
You do?
from all the ones I've taken down over the
Yeah.
years on the street, and bags
Yep.
of them, boxes of them, bags of them. I've never, I just folded them up and
Right,
put them away,
yeah,
all over my house.
Get them to Rogers.
yeah,
Awesome.
That's great,
Thanks,
thank
Roger.
you.
all right.
Great, thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
your
so
service,
much.
guys.
You're in too, Rick, Chris, you're better.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Chris, you're better.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Army?
Army, yeah. All right,
All right.
on to our other esteemed guest. Let's first discuss, sorry, one second. Let's start with the easy one. Vote to reduce the number of bag stickers to 52 per year.
I make a motion that we reduce the number of stickers to 52 per year, because it's been obvious, I think, to everyone that we're giving out more than we need to.
And I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hopefully you all are okay with that. I know I have way more than I need at the moment. I'm willing to donate, but it is, I'm pretty sure, the people I've talked to say the same thing, they have more than they need.
Yeah, everybody, we'd say 80 to 90% of people said that they had more than they needed. Plus, we get more money from the state when we go down to 52, because that's considered modified pay as you throw.
That's a win-win,
So
right?
we'll be getting more money for that, yeah.
All right, to the two Ts, Tim and Troy, let's have a discussion and vote on bulky waste pricing. So, Veronique and I met with Jan last week, was it?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
You guys both have the same sheet?
Yeah, you were taking notes and I was actually in my head already going over pretty well, so yeah, go ahead.
I'll just leave it to you guys.
Well, we
Like,
have some questions. I mean, the dumpsters, we pay for them by weight, correct?
yes, we do. We
Okay.
pay for them by weight, yeah.
So, when furniture comes in and it sits there, right now it doesn't sit there all that long, and it's been dry. Well, when it starts, we get into wet weather again, a lot of that furniture soaks that water up. And we get carpets, we get padding, we should be cut up and given to the Salvation Army.
Oh, really?
That is a material used for cushioning, and that's one of the reasons they use it. So is that?
Well, we
something-
talked about the rain before where we were saying for a tarp, didn't we?
Right,
Yeah, but we're
but
about putting the tarp up as it gets full, and we're not tarping it like when it's empty, you walk in, you gotta leave the tarp off so you can throw stuff over the sides.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah,
last year
top.
rain came out of nowhere and it
Right.
wasn't
Yeah,
forecasted.
not
And
much.
you gotta kinda make it manageable too,
Yeah.
because we have a hell of a time with the tarp just with tires.
Mhm.
So that's one concern. One of the other concerns is the sleeper couch. There is a mattress in that sleeper couch. Does that mattress stay in the sleeper, or does that come out?
That's a very good question.
good
We,
question.
Fred actually looked it up in a manual, and I'll have to have him show where he found it, but he said if a sleeper couch comes in and it's got a mattress in it, we just take it and put it on and haul away, no charge. And in the past, I think now we would charge for the mattress, obviously, but
Will we
Yeah.
charge for the mattress and the sleeper sofa for both of them?
well, we don't want us to be taking the mattress, period, so we should be pulling that up.
$35, but I mean, if they decide that mattress is disgusting and they don't take it, and then I guess we're into a situation where it's gotta be taken to another landfill
Right,
at a different charge. So basically, we don't wanna tell residents one thing and then turn around and do another thing by accepting that mattress when it takes less than 5 minutes to pull that mattress out.
right. And then, so then would we charge them for the mattress and the sleeper sofa separately? So, okay.
That's-
We don't charge them for the mattress because we don't take it.
Right, okay.
Have you gotten many sleeper sofas?
We got 2 in the last year, that's why this came up.
So, but that would be the answer, right? Like, we'll take the sofa, but not the mattress. We'll
Right,
take the
right,
mattress back.
And they were understandable, the person I dealt with,
Right.
he was fine with it, no big
So
deal.
we just need to put that on here then.
Mattress
Remove
removed.
mattress removed, yeah.
I thought Tim
Another,
just said that the regs say we take it.
yeah, what?
But yeah, I'll have to ask Fred where he saw that, because
Well, it was in one of
It's on the
the
manual,
publications,
yeah.
but our
arson isn't always the same with other areas.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we can dictate.
You know, we've,
okay.
you know,
Yeah.
we've seen in other areas where they do take like lit cat boxes, and we don't. So, I mean, it's just a matter of if it's Jan's territory, if it's not Jan's territory.
I'm actually texting with her right now. And she says, she's looking it up, but she thinks they're exempt from the waistband as far as she can recall, so she's looking it up.
Yeah, it had something to do
stay
with
tuned.
like their like, the thickness is like half that of a regular mattress, so.
Quarter that.
But
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
Not real
they-
mattresses.
They
Yeah.
turn around and say that a mattress out of the crib is not exempt.
Right,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
And
they
that's
actually
all-
charged
that's
$35
not-
for this 3x4 mattress down here.
That's insane.
Brian brought it
It
down,
is.
it was plastic, it was all plastic too. I said, Brian, you wanna just cut this up, I'll just pay the money, we're here, $35 for a 4x3. Crib
It's
mattress.
easier for them to cut something like that up and throw it in an oversized bag.
Yeah, I mean, a futon's
Even if
on
they
there
throw
too,
it
it's
in
the
the
same
Yeah,
bubble.
purpose.
It's the same purpose, but the
Yeah.
the internal workings are different, there's no springs and no
Right.
firmness, it's just sofa mattress.
Even though most mattresses today have no springs either.
Yeah.
Yeah, most don't, so.
Well, they're still considered a mattress.
Right.
It says it in the paper we were handed out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Another issue was, now the wood that we're getting, and we have a problem with, is bureaus, tables, anything that's not broken down, that takes up the space.
Mhm.
Okay, if they broke it down, we'd have no problem. It would fit right in, lay it out, and that's the end of it. It's just regular scrap wood. But if they bring it in, like a couple of people have been doing lately, 2-3 bureaus, a table, a chair, that wipes out that dumpster in a matter of no time.
Yeah.
And
You know,
nobody
and-
takes things away anymore, they just bring them. Like if they see a dresser sitting there,
Well, we really
Well, if it's-
can't let them in that dumpster theoretically, because if they go in there and cut themselves, fall,
If I see something that looks halfway decent, they might take, I tell them put it right there at the end, so nobody
Yeah.
has to go in,
Oh,
so
we'll
people
help
see it
them.
all day.
yeah,
By the end of the day, we'll take a sledgehammer to it, take a
Okay.
fit, you know,
Yeah,
that's
But
about all
if
we
people
can do.
took the legs off the table or the back off the chair, it would
Then-
take up a fraction of the space.
Right, but some
But then nobody
people
would want it.
can't
some
do
people,
that.
right,
People
and
can't.
so if they
Yeah.
came and said something to us, that's something that we could, we could try to deal with.
But does it work when Ron comes and crush? Does that take care of it or no?
Well, that's just the thing, if we can guarantee that Ron is gonna be there once a week, okay, but if we've called him and says, hey, can you get down here within the 48 hours, and we come back the following week and he hasn't been there, and I got a full dumpster,
So why don't we just do 2 days out of the month where we tell people they can bring them in on one of those 2 days? And then make sure Ron's there.
That's hard for
nobody's gonna
people that,
remember that.
yeah, well, not only that, but you have people that work during the week, so it can only be weekends, or people that work on the weekends, so it's only, everyone just
I
doesn't
mean, I
have
think
the
Ron's
same.
staffing's been improved.
oh,
so,
yeah, he
You
did,
know,
he's got more
hopefully he
people now.
can get there now when called. I mean,
But
that's
he's
one of
also
the-
busted up our concrete barrier,
Mhm.
so can we afford to have him keep, new people keep doing that? That was on the new yellow fencing.
The one in front of the dumpster.
Ask about that, he puts that in, he can fix it. I said, okay.
No, I'm sure, it could be- I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, I know,
But we
The
just
meantime's
can't,
gotta break it
until we know for a fact that we can depend on him. We call the church people to pick it up, and then they show up and it's been crushed.
And it's half full.
Then they get mad at us,
Mhm.
but nobody called him. And then when we do call him, and he doesn't show up, then
We're going into a
the
weekend
residents
without
get
holding.
mad at us.
Yeah.
Should we try it for a period of time and see that if his staffing is right now, that he can do it regularly?
Yeah, I
Like
just,
try
I
it.
just made a note that we need more consistency on crushing dumpsters, so.
Yeah,
Right, um,
if anything, you should check on a Wednesday, or Thursday morning.
Yeah.
All right, and that way,
Okay.
if it needs to get pulled, we've got 2 days to get a haul in and hopefully get them pulled.
Well, but if he checks on a Thursday morning,
As long as he calls before
as long as he calls you
3:30.
guys to let you know that he's crushed it.
Right.
Yeah, he has to communicate.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That would crush it for the weekend, and then we know that that picked up first thing Monday morning. But, I mean, a lot of that wood, if we had it crushed, do we need to charge them that kind of money? I mean, I think,
I mean,
I think we should only charge
if
them.
something's intact and hasn't been touched, then we should be charging that. If it's been crushed up and put into
Those are pretty cheap prices. $10 for a bureau. That's a lot of.
no, but.
And honestly, because if you look, it says $20 per cubic yard if not listed. you could probably fit a crushed up bureau at a cubic yard, which would be more at $20 than it would be for the bureau at 10.
Well, we have that list from Amy and Jan about the size of the pickups, and this size pickup is loaded up to the rails, it's this much,
Right.
and so on, so.
Yeah.
I'm just running
Yes.
that by, yeah, I'm just running it by you because you're gonna get flack the minute we put that into progress.
I agree.
You know, and, you know, if we try to work with them on it and explain to them, you know, will it be the same as in, listen, you drop it here without even saying nothing and you're gone. No, and we've done it. I mean, we turned around and we looked back and there's a TV, a copy machine, a
Yeah,
chair,
how
a
many
table.
times, yeah, we're busy, they'll
napkin.
drive right by us, go around to the end of it where we can't see them. We'll stop for 2 minutes and then drive off, and then we'll go down and do something there. That's-
So this is kind of what I
So
want to
cameras
focus on is the interaction between the TAs and the residents. Because we had talked about that before, to put something out there stating that the select board has given full authority to the TAs, that it is up to their discretion on the items listed and how much it's gonna cost them when looking at a pickup truck and how much it's gonna cost them. That there's no negotiating, there's no, I wanna talk to your superior.
Well, they can go down, make an appointment and come down and see Veronique or
They
one
can
of you
come to the
guys.
select board meeting.
Yeah, exactly, but
Yeah.
not right there in that moment.
Correct. Correct. So I just
Like
wanna
a-
make sure that that
They can
is,
asshole.
They can also leave with their truckload of stuff.
Exactly.
After they have their meeting and realize there's about to charge.
But the minute that this goes into
No, I know, that's
Good
my
job.
thing, as soon as we have them having to collect on this kind of stuff, it's
Right.
gonna get raised tension at the train.
Sure.
well, the
Yeah,
minute
they're
you
already talking.
implement this,
Yeah, they're already-
people are gonna be throwing this stuff in from the backside of that dumpster.
Or to the
I mean, they do
woods.
it now.
There's people saying that, or to the woods.
Or into
I'll
the
teach
woods.
you. Okay.
Which
The
I hate
police
that.
department's been notified, I mean, they're on alert, so. It's
So-
like, oh,
Some of the things on this list though don't
care.
go into like televisions
They go in a
entirely.
They go different places,
Right,
yeah.
so it's really, it's the stuff that people are gonna be tossing into.
It's the bulky
Yeah,
stuff, yeah. To the tires and the electronics, that's not a big deal, that's pretty, these are like
Yeah.
standard prices for everywhere else, what we're already charging less right now, so
Yeah.
they have to go up, because we had 2 e-pickups in the last 2 months, because it's filled up.
I
I'm
think
sure
people
that Amy or
expect
Jan will tell us that's expensive.
electronics
Stuff like
have to have a cost. I mean, I think everybody's kind of been
Yeah.
trained to that
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah.
that. And most people right now, the $10 or $20 per TV, they
You know,
look the same, they look like, that's it? I mean, that's it,
Right.
okay, no problem. So, going up to 20, 30, whatever it is, that's.
So Troy, are you suggesting we don't put the other items a price on them yet and see if we can manage it with crushing it more regularly?
I would still put a price on it,
Oh,
but
you
say,
would?
listen,
Yeah.
if you're capable of busting, if I got a lady come in with a bureau, I wanna bust it up.
Yeah.
That bulky's getting pulled almost every week now, since we went to the
Okay.
bags.
I get a
That's
25-year-old
800 plus
guy
weight or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
that doesn't wanna even, take the drawers out of it, then we charge him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only fair.
Yeah, okay.
have you
And
had
you
a,
guys, oh, sorry.
But-
But, I mean, and you guys feel comfortable, like you're prepared to make that determination?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and just tell them, take it up with us if.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
we'll either direct him to Tim or we'll direct him down to the office.
are you still having to turn people away for trying to dump construction material?
Well, that's just another
No,
thing
we
I was
haven't.
gonna say, is you've got that on here. Yes, we have
Good.
contractor stuff going in there.
Oh, yeah, that should be.
We
Wow,
So
Jan said it, because we're a smaller town, we're exempt.
No, we're stating no construction or demolition debris.
So we wanna start doing that again. That's all we need to know,
That's-
yes
So,
or no.
I mean, I'm.
Aren't we able to dictate that?
Yes, absolutely, and I honestly, my impression was we were not supposed to be taking construction debris.
So I guess I
Yeah,
have
we
a
were
question about
told that.
what counts as construction.
And that's just it, how do you
and demolition.
differentiate, you see half a bucket of drywall and half a bucket of something else's household stuff that they mixed in and they dump it in there, or I tell them to put it in a bag, so we don't have to know about it, I don't know, I got
I'm
Or somebody
talking more the
replaced
concrete
any
blocks
piece of
and
sheetrock.
the sheetrock.
Yeah.
But there's
wash
a
sheetrock.
difference between somebody who just took down a
Well,
rotten
that's-
wall and puts their
so
construction in, and somebody's come in with a
The
truckload of
select
shit.
board has given the TAs full authority to decide.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Are you also
if-
issuing
Yeah.
firearms to protect yourself?
If you're still online with her, ask her about the size of the town and are we exempt from taking or do we take it or not?
Everybody
because of
sees
the
that thing
size
up
of
there,
the town.
no white what's the word, no white products or something on that board up there we're not supposed to be taking?
Oh, the
Massachusetts-
waistband, yeah.
Yeah, the exemption mass certified
Yeah.
EX3 rule number 9 of no
Yeah, well, we
white
have two
material.
of those signs.
Yeah.
We have one at the front of the gate
We had
and
to
one at
ask
the
what that
shed.
was, and they said, that's like drywall.
And asphalt and sheet
Why is there
rock.
drywall? So
I think it's
white
white gypsum board.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That we're not
Yeah.
supposed to take.
Where do they take that?
Shingles.
Greenfield.
tile.
Greenfield.
Greenfield, or they get their own contractor dumpster.
Okay,
But yeah, I when I was doing my stuff at the house, I went to Greenfield and it was cheap.
okay.
You know, they go by weight.
So they know this,
Yeah.
they just are trying to
I
get
mean,
it.
if you're doing that level of demolition, then you really should be getting your own dumpster.
Wow.
Exactly, that's
It's-
exactly our
A
point.
lot of it was those two people, and we believe it was Eddie's old house.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were the owners, and they were in twice a day, 3 times a day with a trailer and a truck. And they had everything under the sun, and it was filling the dumpster up in a day.
What you're saying is exactly what I said when we had the first meeting with the PowerPoint, where I was saying that those local contractors are charging the customer
Yeah,
and then
Bring
bringing it into the transfer station,
Right.
just copying the money.
double dipping, yeah, which is obviously.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I mean, if you got mom and
That
dad
and they're
renovating
filling,
a
they're filling
room,
the bulky with their compound waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Go
would
to
take
Costco.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have them renovating a whole floor, then it should go into one of the outside dumpsters.
Right.
Well, the house you were just talking about, they were cleaning out that barn, and that barn is huge.
Huge.
Very
It is,
very
it
large.
is huge,
It's
old
been
dairy
being
barn,
filled over the
and,
last 50 years.
yeah, everything under the sun was just put in that barn.
But the difficulty is knowing ahead of time how many trips they might be making, right?
Right,
Because they
right.
might come in with one and then all of a sudden you see, 2, 3, 4 trips, and that may not be on the same day with the same people. So
Yes.
it makes it problematic for you all to know.
Well, they gotta pay each
One day
time
they
now.
did come
Well,
in
right,
three
which is why setting up the prices. I did just hear from Jan, by the way, mattresses and futons are not part of the waistband, so
Okay.
they can go in.
Alright, so that's
Is
that. is that.
I mean, sorry, mattresses in sleeper sofas.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
should they be
Yeah.
wrapped?
Sorry,
Well, if
Should
they're
they be
inside,
wrapped to stop them from, oh, they can still get soaking wet with water.
soak in the sofa.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
forth too.
yeah.
It's padded.
But,
But construction debris, no.
okay.
No
And then the
construction
biggie
debris.
is styrofoam.
So when are we starting this?
January 1 is what I think the
Oh.
start
Is
date was.
styrofoam banned?
No, it's just,
It's a pain in the ass, and a lot of towns got a recycling program, but we're not big enough. But it's, some
We tell them
people
to
will
put in the
break it
regular
up, put
trash.
it in the bag,
Yeah.
and then some people will have like a hot tub cover, which they'll rip the cover off and they'll throw the styrofoam right in there. And that
Ooh,
takes
I'm
up
gonna
a
be having
lot
one
of
of those.
space.
Well, if you can recycle it, we should try to kind of
It's really difficult.
force people to recycle it.
Yeah, there are very few places. The last one I knew of was in Ludlow or they were in Ludlow, moved to Palmer. I know Amy's worked with a couple of towns on styrofoam recycling, but it's really difficult to set up, and part of the problem is people have to wait a long time and store it in their homes.
Why don't we just keep that off for now?
So, yeah,
Of doing anything with it for now, and we'll look more into it to see what options we have.
Okay, do we at least want to enforce them to bag it?
Yes.
yeah, oh, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, styrofoam.
Yeah,
No
because
matter what
imagine
size?
crushing. Yeah, because imagine crushing it and then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a bulky. This is
Yeah.
not, okay,
Yeah.
now, it's because we have a lot of people that
So let's
don't
put-
wanna do it.
Styrofoam has to be bagged.
they also don't want it
It
back.
comes in big huge sheets and they just throw it in.
And the ball, yeah.
Because we're paying a lot, we're getting bags that we're having to either recycle from somebody's trash or we're buying it out of our pockets. The bags outside the dumpsters for people that throw trash,
That they were too lazy.
that they're too lazy to throw in their
Never
own bags.
Like the cat boxes.
Or the cat boxes.
Just squish those, put them in your trash. How hard is that? No, they just keep throwing them on ball.
Yeah, it's not a big deal if they would crush them,
Yeah.
but they don't even wanna crush them.
Like litter boxes?
Litter box,
Yeah,
yeah.
those can't be,
The
they
cardboard.
can't go in the cardboard recycling.
Paper, paper plates, tissues, napkins, none of that stuff.
Yeah,
is
that
supposed
needs to
go.
be in their garbage bags.
And, but yet they still throw it in
Yeah.
the cart, and no matter what we tell them, they don't
They know,
listen.
they know better. They know everything.
So just so you know too, because I used to run the styrofoam recycling program, and part of the problem too is that it's really difficult because there's only a few kinds of styrofoam that actually will be recycled.
Mhm.
and getting across to people which are the proper ones to bring in when they have like, big bulky, it's just like, it's a nightmare.
I think you're supposed to mix it with concentrated orange juice and gasoline.
You mean have a cocktail?
You know what that makes?
Yeah, send it to
Napalm.
Iran.
It's been a while since you
So you want me to write that down?
Yeah, that's right.
I guess I just told everyone.
Cut
Andy
that off.
Selectboard tips.
Should check with the veterans on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a bunch of people in town making.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you do make your motion, you're gonna add that styrofoam must be in bags, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And again, bags need to be sealed.
And can we make up a big sign that nobody will read?
I'm more than happy to do that.
You know what's funny
Bags need to be sealed.
is the signs that we had on the catwalk that we built a billboard for. Nobody would turn their back, turn around and look at it. But now that we have it leaning against the cardboard dumpster, people are stopping to actually read it.
Oh, good.
It's like, well, why couldn't you just turn around when you were there
Yeah.
a year ago?
Well,
You
you
didn't know it was there.
I'm happy to buy another A-frame or reuse one of the ones you have to put something similar in front of the bulky. If there's certain items that you really want to flag that people, like a big no.
Well, we should start advertising that the
Yeah.
cost is gonna start, although then you'll have a super busy December.
It will be anyway.
It will be anyway, yeah.
So, I just out of curiosity, what do you do when someone comes and, like, they haven't bagged their stuff properly? Like, do you make them leave?
Well, it's kind of hard, I mean, because we'll ask them, why did you put it in the bag? And I said, because you told us to. It's like, okay, now answer me this question. You take a bag and you don't seal it, you take the bag, you flip it over as you're throwing it in the dumpster, what happens? What happens? Okay, well, watch, show it, do it. And then the stuff falls out of the bag.
Yeah.
What good is a bag?
So just say, sorry, we can't accept it until you seal the bag.
I mean, I guess what I'm wondering is there's a way that we could, like, basically fine people if they're not, so like they dumped it, they didn't seal it, like, you.
Can we take away their dumping permit?
Well, or
I think they deal with attitudes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm just thinking.
Can we keep a couple rolls of duct tape
That's
nearby?
what- that's
so
what- that's what we
can
do.
At least just,
That's what we do, I just slap a couple duck rolls.
Yeah, if you guys need supplies, you just have to ask for
Yeah,
them.
we
If
can-
you need
we
trash
can get
bags,
duct
if you
tape
need duct
and
tape,
stuff like that.
Yeah, they have a line for supplies,
Okay.
that's not,
Yeah, I
that's
know,
not
I
a
guess
problem, but they
that's-
shouldn't have to be sealing people's
No,
bags.
yeah, I know. And,
Like,
Well, these are just the last few holdouts and they're pissed about the sticker program, they're just trying to see what they can still get away with. So now they're giving us the authority to say, you may not leave your bag unless you seal it,
Yes.
then they're gonna smarten up. And take your, put,
Yeah.
Or they're gonna
put
wait-
5 stickers over it, seal with 5 stickers, that'll do it.
it doesn't stick, it doesn't hold it.
No.
or they're gonna wait till you turn your back.
Exactly.
I mean,
Whole Foods came out with bags with aluminum foil on the inside.
Yes.
Now that
They're
does not
recyclable.
go
So you
into
can-
the cardboard.
Yeah, it can't, but they are recyclable.
But how? That's the
Yeah,
problem.
with
Where
metal
can you
or
recycle?
So you
paper.
don't, you can try to rip it out of the bag, which some people are doing.
Yeah.
But I heard that they pretty much have stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But people with boxes that have the same stuff will throw it in the dumpster. And it's like you say something to them and they'll say, well, you said last week we didn't have to. I didn't say that, I wasn't even here last week. Oh yeah, you did, you were here. I said, no. Who's telling you this stuff?
Yeah.
And then they get mad. Or people will come with a contractor bag, one sticker, and the bag is 150 pounds. And then they sit there and say, why didn't you help me lift it? So why didn't you help yourself put it on the trailer? If you couldn't put it on a trailer, why should we help you take it off? And the guy lives right across the street with the Jeep. Went up and down on one side on me and called me every dirty name in the book. Every way you can think of. And it's like,
Oh, the guy used to work at
Yeah.
the paper company who knows
it's
everything
like
about the
one
recycling.
thing, you're not gonna swear at me. And he kept it up. And no.
Just walk away.
I did, but then he kept running his smile. So, I mean, people just get very upset over
I
little
know.
stuff that
Right.
is right there in the paper.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion on this. I'm just gonna add in.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add in about the styrofoam. Is there any other thing we want to
Well,
discuss?
ultimately, I think all of us up there need to sit down and look at everything, each one, and add stuff, and then we'll come back like next week or
Okay.
next
Yeah, we
meeting.
can give you the
Kind of a
paper on the guide.
little
Wait, you wanna revise the prices again?
No, we just wanna review the prices and review the procedure and anything we may think, you might wanna tag in there before it becomes official.
Yeah, we don't have nothing to do.
It's nice for you to say, oh, we can take sleeper mattresses now, but we need to.
Well, we can
Realize
revise,
that
we can always do a revision vote if
We
need
could
be.
do a revision later, but if
Yeah.
this is
Okay.
gonna be done for
Okay, well,
January
yeah.
first, I
Yeah.
think
We
it'd be
wanna get
better
the
to.
info out
All
there,
right.
you know.
But
Make a motion.
I think to your motion, I think
Yeah.
you might wanna add that they have full authority and make that like in your official vote.
I'm gonna make a second motion.
Oh,
for that.
great, perfect.
Is that okay?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to, starting January 1st of 2025, to start the bulky waste pricing as shown in the draft, with the addition of stating that styrofoam must be in sealed bags.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Just an addendum, it's been just over a year on the sticker program, which has gone from where it was to pretty smooth, few holdouts.
We're
But
getting there.
we've been telling people all year long that you put that program into place. In the next year or two, we will be instituting this, and here it is a year later, we're instituting it, so they've been warned.
Yeah, all the meetings we had.
Yes,
we
they've
wanted
been
to-
warned,
Yeah.
so when they come up, well, I didn't know, or that's not right, that's not fair, well, you could've came to the meetings for last year. You know, that's not my
2
problem.
years.
That's his problem, not your problem.
I just wonder, do we wanna say something like specifically that like, furniture must be broken down?
Not
No,
yet.
not yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's,
try to
that's,
make
Now
sure
that
it's
it's
crushed.
that's a
Yeah.
target, that's a target.
Then what we do, you show your pricing, and then later on, you can put an addendum that, if you break the furniture up and where it's small enough, it's insignificant, not a big deal, we'll take it.
Okay,
That will give them the incentive to do it.
Yeah.
I'll also make a motion, and I guess a proclamation, that the select board has granted full authority to the Conway TAs, that it is their full discretion to assign the pricing based on the waste given to the transfer station.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Before I leave, I got one other thing, on my sheet, a couple people are complaining that somebody took the stop sign out.
Oh, yeah,
Stop sign.
the end of the driveway.
In the driveway, it was.
I saw that lane.
We're assuming it's
I
waste
picked it up and
management,
put
but
it
we can't
against
prove
the
it because it
fence.
was just laying on the side of the road.
But there's a few people that would like to see that stop sign back up because people are flying out of the
Yeah.
transfer station.
Yeah, they do.
They don't
No,
need-
and actually, they don't realize, a lot of people don't realize that there's actually houses past the
Yeah,
transfer
up
station.
the hill now, yeah,
So people
yeah.
will be coming down the hill from their house and people aren't stopping or looking because they don't know anything's up there and they're just.
Yeah.
and
So when
it's-
Ron
that's a
goes to
really
crush
close call.
things, he can put the.
Can we
stop
put one
sign
of
back
those
up.
mirror things, the circular mirror things on the other side that faces up that road?
I
Well,
don't think there's
I don't
any.
think you
Well, I
have
don't
to. I
think-
think you just have to
They just
stop.
need to stop.
That's a little overkill, yeah.
Honestly, one of the things that Amy wanted us to do, and we just haven't had time to put it up yet though, because some of the vendors go right by and then get stuck on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, they
she
change
wanted a
driver.
sign with an arrow pointing
yeah.
to here's the transfer station entrance, so.
I think that's
It's
what,
not a
I think
bad
that's how they
idea.
took the sign out.
Yeah, they probably went by and
They
backed
went
up.
by it and then
Oh.
they tried to back into
Oh.
the transfer station because they
Maybe.
took the sign and
Yeah.
threw it way out
Maybe.
into the woods.
You know what would be really good too, and not to add to this, but, the sign at the bottom of Old Cricket Hill that has the transfer station
Oh, make that
hours
bigger.
is this big.
Yeah.
People don't see it, and when they're whipping
Yep.
up the street at 6:30 on a Sunday morning, because they gotta get there. and-
That's not it.
Right,
All right,
So a sign that you can actually see.
got it.
Yep.
well, this should be another change,
Then we
so
won't get all
be
those phone
prepared.
calls. Are you open today? Did I answer the phone? Yes.
No, I
Nobody
sleep,
answers the phone,
I
we're
sleep
slow.
here, I'm like a
Somebody
Capital
answers the
One
phone,
man.
we're here.
Well, it is within a recycling program, we need to make them recycle.
Yeah,
The black boxes have gotta stop.
yeah, that's-
And, the tissues and the cups and all that's gotta stop, otherwise it won't get recycled.
Yeah.
We've been to the MRF, this is what they told us at the MRF.
Baby steps.
Well, how long are we gonna baby on?
That's what that's what all this
What it
is.
boils down to is $20 for a bureau or whatever it is, or you can take a sledgehammer to it and put it in the contractor bag and it costs you $1 sticker to throw it in over there. That's
There you go.
ignorance and laziness,
Two stickers.
And at this point,
Yeah.
Depends how big you are. You can run
You
through one
said-
chipper, get into a small bag.
Yeah,
at
right.
this point, are you
This
gonna
is like a
take,
$5 dog license turning into a $50 fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
are we gonna make them
More.
pay at your office, or are you gonna get us a small?
Yeah, what are we
register?
gonna do? Yeah, I don't
So
really
we
wanna be
can
handling
discuss that.
$5,000 in cash every month out there, Jesus Christ.
That's
People
gonna-
find out we got
we
money
should
up
put
there,
that on
we're
the
gonna
next
pay for it.
I mean, whoever is in charge of the shift, that shift, should take the money home with them.
It's boring.
Yeah, yes, but then you're responsible
Until
for it.
you decide.
All you need, but the easiest thing, the best thing to do would be, I'll give you a bunch of envelopes, you put an envelope and you stick it in the deposit in the front door of the town offices. And then you don't take it home, it's just there.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Then we have to tally it the week from Monday.
That's okay, but
We'll
I'll
figure out
look in
something.
there and, yeah, you tally it.
Yeah.
You
We'll
tally
be
it up.
telling sheet every night.
Yeah.
Every night, okay.
Just do a tally sheet every night, drop it off there, and I'll look every morning and I'll do the.
Well, I mean, I'm
turnover
here
for
every
Jan.
Wednesday and Sunday, if I'm there Saturday, Sunday,
Just
I
make
can
sure
just
you
take
don't
it
put
home
it in
Saturday
this
and bring it and
Dropbox.
drop,
Wait,
I can do
you get
Sunday
80
anyway.
cents a mile? Now that I got
It's 67 cents.
67
And make sure
cents.
you don't put it in my Dropbox. Make sure it's in the one that's on the door of the town office.
Oh, no, I'll put it in yours.
All
They'll
right.
put a big lorry on it.
Yeah.
Well, you won't find it then. if
I
you're
won't.
looking for it in the mornings.
I will.
We still have to leave a certain amount of cash there.
No,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
All right,
All right, I'm kicking you out.
thank
All right.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Troy. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks,
evening,
town.
everyone.
Town
Good
clerk.
night. Good night.
Gotta stick with T's.
This is TA.
Yes.
Yeah, TSA.
TCTA.
Okay, moving to the top of the agenda, minutes. Vote to approve the minutes of November 4th.
Those look good to me. I move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Next item, the warrants. We went over all those, so I'll make a motion to vote to approve the accounts payable warrant in the amount of $152,082.54. The payroll warrant in the amount of $146,543.60. And the payroll deduction warrant in the amount of $35,991.82.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meetings attended by select board members. Erica.
None since our last meeting.
Lane.
Have I been here since I went to the school committee conference?
Don't think so.
I went to the end of election week there. It's always very useful. It's all school committee members across the state and the superintendents. So there was a big, certainly one of the keynotes was about how the election will affect education and also how getting rid of the MCAS will. Because it's, now it falls to each district. They're gonna set the bar for graduation requirements, which is a lot of work for districts. So, that's to be decided, and I don't think everybody really thought of the outcome
Yeah.
of that.
That was a big vote.
Yeah, so anyway, and in general, it's just, there's one talk I tried to get into all about, good budgets, and it was like, you couldn't get in the room, so there's all sorts of different things. It's definitely worthwhile, really. And then I had school committee last week, and I did talk to Shelley about trying to be very transparent with the budget this year in terms of pie charts and whatever, to say like how much is salary, how much is this, how much is that. She's gotten better and better with it, but she's gonna try to make it even more specific this year so we know. So it's just clear for everybody, you don't have to go line by line item. And I did also bring up, it came up when Janet Shays was here, about, the school getting involved in the invasive stuff and whatever, and actually some students had actually presented to the principal for a project about they have some invasive on the property and how the appropriate way to kill them. So there's definitely an interest there, and Kristen really felt that they would love to join something like that. So we have to try to get the two together. They're pulling weeds or something to get the 6th grade class or whoever involved. So anyway, that is what I've done.
Cool, and then I had the meeting with Veronique and Janamine on the bulky waste we just discussed. Met with Ron about a few things, and then I attended the Concom and Eversource meeting, which was interesting. And then tomorrow I'll have the capital improvement meeting.
Is that just about tree trimming?
So Eversource is updating a ton of their lines everywhere, and some of them, the meeting was mainly about Roaring Brook Road, because some of the lines aren't along the street, they go into properties, so they're gonna be moving those to the street. And we noticed that they had already cut down some trees without notifying any of the residents, so Veronique got with their contact to tell them to get with Stephen at our, Stephen is our,
Administrative assessor.
yes, assessor, so they can get updated information on the owners, send out letters. But yeah, there were only 3 of us that showed up for Roaring
Very
Brook.
bold.
Yes, it is. So anyway,
All right.
that was that. So we'll move on to meeting. Oh, we already did that. Public comments. None. All right. Unfinished business. None. Back to new business. We already hit the first 2, so we'll move on to the third. Discussion on applying for a shared streets and spaces grant to create a sidewalk from the corner of Route 116 and Shelburne Falls Road all the way to the South River Meadow.
You wanted?
Well, I mean, we kind of discussed this before,
Yeah, we did.
right? And
Yeah.
the ultimate goal would have been to go all the way to Reed's Bridge. It's not really applicable here because it would cost far too much. It's a very complicated thing. We're hoping to get funding for this, correct? So the idea is, as we've said, to start from that corner all the way to South Meadow. It at least gets us halfway around
Yeah, it's a
where
good
they want to
start.
get Reed's
I
Bridge.
think it's a good start.
But yeah, it is a good start, and I don't feel like enough people actually go to South Meadow, and I think a lot of the reasons are some of the reasons are probably because of the danger of just walking on
I think
116
too
right
many
there.
people go to the South Meadow.
Yeah.
Because they're always there when I want to walk my dog.
Right. So we just wanted to, apply for that grant to.
Should we consult the owner of the
Yes.
Masonic Temple?
That's basically why I think I wanted to have this on here, was
Yeah.
just to get approval from the board. And it could be either complete streets or shared streets. There's a couple different grants, but I think the first would be to sit down and first find out how much it will cost to engineer it,
Mhm.
but also speak with the owner and let them know that we're contemplating that if the board wishes.
Oh, with the
Yes.
parking space.
Correct.
Yep.
It seems like there'd just be like a really giant cut, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
We own the shed, right?
In the South River Meadow?
Yes. Okay. 'Cause
It's
then-
more about the parking at that corner.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you. Okay.
Okay, so you're okay for me and Ron to move forward on looking into
Absolutely.
this?
I think Erica's giving a
Yeah,
nod.
definitely, yeah.
So that's all 3 of us.
Okay, thank you.
Use our words.
All right, moving on. Discussion and vote on letter of support for the MVP 2.0 program grant, which is right here. Shall I just read it? Conway Selectboard enthusiastically writes this letter of support and commitment to joining the MVP 2.0 grant. The towns of Ashfield and Conway worked jointly in 2018 on the original MVP plan, and much of the work done in that plan centered around our shared water system, the South River. Since Conway and Ashfield share this watershed and have continued over the years to work in tandem as much as possible on mitigating the effects of flooding associated with the South River, the towns have agreed to work collaboratively again within the MVP 2.0 process. This process will involve updating our joint plan with Ashfield to reshape and consider progress made and include new challenges that have arisen in the last 5 years. As part of this renewal process, we understand and support involving local leadership and staff in Conway, including our TA, who will serve as project lead. the leadership of the town of Ashfield. We also agreed to meeting deadlines established by the program. Blah, blah, blah.
I move that we support, that we sign this letter of support, although there are.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
There's
white it
a
out.
little typo. I don't know if you care.
I love it. Thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Fair and equal. White out that extra period. Next item on new business, vote to appoint Janet Chase as Conway's representative to the Deerfield Wild and Scenic River Study Committee. This should be an easy one.
I move that we nominate Janet Chase.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you again, Janet, for all your support.
Yeah, she was excited about it.
Everything she does.
I said I'd back her up on it. As a backup. Did
Oh,
she get
sure.
an official letter?
No,
Okay,
no, I don't think so, because it's not an actual committee.
okay.
So it's a temporary kind of assignment, so I figured
Okay.
as long as the board voted
Yeah.
officially, but they already know that she's the rep and
Yeah.
they're already in contact, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more appointment. Vote to appoint Jane Roy Brown to Cultural Council for a term ending June 30th, 2027.
I move to appoint Jane Roy Brown to the Cultural Council for a term ending 6/30/27.
We'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jane, for your service.
Oh, it's
Sweet,
me,
okay,
yeah.
just you, good.
Yep. All right, that's it for new business. Moving on to items not anticipated 48 hours in advance of meeting. None. EA updates.
Actually, I forgot to put one in here, although I did put it in your packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot to put an item in,
Oh,
which was
oh.
that Janamine actually applied for this for us, which was a Maya Risk Management grant, and what they're doing is we needed some disconnects for the compactors up at the transfer station, because when you're working on them, you really need to be able to disconnect the
Yeah.
electricity.
I would
So
hope
she applied for the grant, got it for us, it was, gosh, how much is it? $6,544.
Oh, that's
So
great.
that was wonderful of her to do that for us.
Who did it?
Janamine.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we had a really interesting tabletop exercise. The emergency management directors, fire chiefs, police chiefs, et cetera, from Ashfield and Conway met together and just reviewed, and a couple of representatives from the Conway pool, Beth Gershman and Michelle Sanger, were there, and we just had an exercise that they ran us through. Okay, what would you do if? And basically, it was if the dam broke on Ashfield Lake, and it was just it's the way they try to help towns to review what we have in our plans and what actions we would take, and a lot of it, to be honest with you, centers on making sure that we all are communicating with each other. That's the biggest thing. Also, interestingly enough, in making sure that we don't promote rumors, because they tend to happen a lot when there's kind of an emergency situation, and that we all understand that we really need to make sure that we've fact checked and we've talked to people before we start disseminating information.
Well, I heard.
Anyway, so it was really helpful for us. That, and then we will be going over, Roy and I will be working together on the IT quotes. I just need his expertise on this. It's just not, I don't have the expertise to be vetting these vendors.
Mhm.
So sometime between Thanksgiving and December, we'll go over them together. And then at the next meeting, you'll be getting you already have, hopefully, the handbook that about a year ago, Jim Warner, God bless her, had done a bunch of edits to the handbook. And then the personnel committee, last week, reviewed all of her edits with her and kind of went through the whole thing. And there were certain areas where the select board has to make some decisions.
Okay.
So that just got sent to you today, highlighted in yellow, all the areas where you'll have to make some decisions at the next meeting. Then it goes to EA&E for that professional review, then personnel will look at it again and then bring it back to you for the final, okay, here's our blessing on final. So that will be huge. That's been like on my bucket list since I got here. So to get that done will be wonderful. RTE is there. We're still at the phase of working to make sure that the inventory of streetlights in Conway is correct. Because Eversource has one, and then some of the folks from sustainability worked on one last year, and then they're going to do it themselves. So they're going to schedule to be in town for about a day or so and go looking at certain places, and then get back.
It's funny now that we're discussing this, how you start to notice streetlights, right?
Yeah.
There's two on Graves Road that I'm like, why is there a street light on Graves Road? Like, I mean, I can see one at the intersection because it's a stop onto Reed's Bridge, and maybe they didn't want people to drive off into the woods.
Almost $1,000 this past month.
But the one before that, right across from Marcia's house, I'm like, why is there a street light, right? Like, it would annoy, if I lived in her house, I would be so annoyed by that street light.
There are so many on our street, but they don't seem to work, which
No,
is
mine doesn't
totally
work
fine.
either. Yeah. Mine turns off when I go outside. It does the opposite it's
It's like
supposed to
motion
do.
sensor.
Yeah.
And some might be private as well. So there might be some streetlights in town that were put in by private residents and they pay for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they know they pay for it?
I would assume they know they pay for them, but I don't know if that's actually the case, but that's one of the things that they're
That
gonna,
RT is gonna be
letting us,
right,
yeah, letting us know.
That's very interesting.
Because, you
That's
know,
odd. So you could
Yeah.
buy a house and
You-
you're paying for a street
you
light
can
that
put up-
somebody else put up.
and
20
you
years
better
ago.
know when you bought
Yeah,
it.
you would hope that it'd be in the
Yeah, yeah,
deed.
yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I could just put streetlights up like all around
Yeah.
my house.
Do you wanna pay for it?
Disco
Strolls.
balls.
Well, but
Yeah.
not dark sky.
Yeah, I know.
So just other housekeeping stuff, the budget requests have gone out. In December, we're gonna have that joint meeting of capital, personnel, and finance to, lead up to the January, begin to budget season. I get to redo my MCPPO training. So that started today, and then,
What does that stand for?
sorry, Massachusetts Certified
Procurement,
Procurement,
procurement officer, right?
Public Procurement
Yeah.
Officer, yeah.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah, or just remember what the acronym is.
Yeah.
But yes, that was one of the conditions when I got here, that I had to take that, so I did that like right away, but it expires in April of next year, so I have to get cracking on it.
It's like the opposite of the cool song you download OPP.
Yeah.
It's like literally the opposite.
And then the senior and veteran tax work-off information is available. People have all gotten it or know, and it's on the website. So-
Yeah, it came out good. I mean,
Was
when
it okay?
Arrived in the mail, I thought it looked great.
Oh, that was the brochure.
Yeah.
But this is the actual, there's like just a 2-page information and then the
Oh,
application. And so then those have to come back to me by December 13th, and then I've got to really quickly go through them before the Christmas break to vet everybody, make sure, and then we'll do the lottery.
Great.
Great. Thank you. I'll come back to comments and concerns of skip to mail. This came in from our great superintendent, Darius Modesto, so I'll just read it real quick. Dear Select Board, this letter is being sent in accordance with 603 Code of Massachusetts Regulation 41.05 to notify you as an appropriate authority, member town of the Frontier Regional School District, that the Frontier Regional School Committee voted a proposed amendment to the previously approved fiscal year 25 budget on November 12th, 2024. The school committee requests that you approve the proposed amendment, which would reallocate $200,000 of excess and deficiency to fully fund the replacement of the school's fire alarm panel system. Under the aforementioned law, you have 45 days from the date of the Frontier Regional School Committee's vote, which again was on the 12th, to meet and consider the amendment. The committee's proposed amendment shall be effective if it is approved by 2/3 of the local appropriating authorities. This was already voted on. It's just the reallocation of the funding, correct? Because we did vote on this at the last town meeting.
So they're just basically spending 200, they're just shifting money
They're,
from
they're
one line to
using
another.
basically their version of free cash to
Yeah.
pay this,
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
So I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve that reallocation of the E&D to fund the replacement of the Frontiers School Fire Alarm Panel System.
well, second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. You got it, Darius. 100%. Looks like there's nothing signed, it's just a vote.
Yeah, I'll just let them know that. he did that.
That's it for now. Back to select board member comments or concerns.
Nope.
None? All right, great. Going on to announcements. None. Next meeting, December 2nd. See you all then. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
second,
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I.
Aye. Thank you.
How's the building coming?